Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you? I hope you'd be fine. This is exercise 7B of Think New Syllabus Mathematics Book 2. And we have started this topic. We have covered some of the questions. Now we are heading towards question number 4, and we are going to do a few more questions from this exercise. So watch the video till the end and do not skip the video. In this question, it says for each of the following equations, state the two variables, that is, which of the two variables are directly proportional to each other, and explain your answer. Okay, so before doing this question, let us reconsider or let us see what were the equations that we have made in question number 1, 2, and 3. In question number 1, it was if x is directly proportional to y cube and x is equals to 32 when y is equals to 2, then the equation was like that. If x is equals to ky cube in part 1. Similarly, if z square is directly proportional to w, then the equation was z square is equals to kw. And in the third one, the question was it is given that y is directly proportional to xn. Right? So in this one, the equation was y is equals to kxn. You see? So now they are asking us if the equations are given as y is equals to 4x squared, y is equals to 3 under root x, y square is equals to 5x cube, and p cube is equals to q square. In all these situations, what do we have to find? It is the constant. That's it. After finding the constant, we will just remove the constant and the remaining ones would be direct proportional to each other, right? Like if y is equals to 4x squared, this would be the constant. If y is equals to 3 under root x, 3 would be the constant. If y square is equals to 5x cubed, then 5 would be the constant. If p cube is equals to q square, then 1 would be the constant since there is no coefficient. So we can say that y is equals to kx square, y is equals to k under root x, y square is equals to k x cube, and p cube is equals to k q square. In all these situations, this k is the constant, and since k is the constant, so we can say that y is directly proportional to x square, y is directly proportional to under root x, y square is directly proportional to x cube, and p cube is directly proportional to q square. In all these situations, what are we doing? We are just substituting is equals to k with under root, the sign of directly proportional. This is what we are doing because this is what we have learned, that when the two quantities are in direct proportion, then what happens? We just remove the proportion sign and replace it with is equals to k constant. And in this case, we are provided with the k constant. So we just have to remove it and do the workings in reverse direction, and that's all. So what are we going to write? Let's just reread the question. For each of the following equations, state the two variables which are directly proportional to each other. So we will say that y and x square are in direct proportion, then y and under root x are in direct proportion, then y square and x cube are in direct proportion, and last but not the least, p cube and q square are in direct proportion. It's that simple. You just have to figure out that what is the variable that could be constant out there, and then you just have to replace it with the proportion sign, and then you can easily figure out that what would be the two variables which are directly proportional to each other. Now let's move to the next question, which says if z square is directly proportional to x cube. Now in each of this statement, you have to observe that what are the two variables that are in direct proportion. So you just have to write them down like this. Z square is direct proportion to x cube. Then you are provided with Z is equals to 8. Why are we provided with these values? To find out the value of the constant K first. This is what we have to figure out first. So these are the steps that that are to be followed. Like, so it could be Z square is equals to K x cube. Then what are we going to do? We are going to write it down like this. Z square upon x cube is equals to K. Why? Because we have to find out the K constant. And then what are we going to do? We will simply substitute the values with 8 square upon 4 cube, which is equals to K. So 8 square means 8 8s are. I'll just expand it for you people so that you won't have any problem. Then 4 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 4 means 4 cube. So 8 8s are 64. 4 4s are 16. 16 4s are 64. It means we have both the numerators and the denominators same. In this case, we are going to get K is equals to 1. Just like we got K is equals to 1 in the part D of question number 4. So we can get constant as 1. In this case, we have got constant as 1. And now we are going to substitute the value of K in this equation, which was Z square is equals to 1x cube. I'm not going to write 1 over here since we do not write 1 as the coefficient. So after this, we have to find out the value of Z. We have to find out the value of Z. So we are going to write it down like Z square is equals to, when X is equals to 9 is given. Now we will substitute the value of X as 9 over here. Then we will solve it. 9 9s are 81. 81 9s are 729. And then since we have got the value of Z square and we have to find out the value of Z. So what are we going to do? We will simply find the square root on both sides. So this square root will cut the square. I told you in earlier video as well that whenever you come up with the variable square, so you have to take the square root at the end. When you are provided with square root of someone, like if we were provided with Z, under root Z, then we will take square. We will square both sides. But if we have Z square, we will take square root on both sides. This is something that you have to practice. Similarly, if you're provided with cube root, then you have to cube both sides. And if you are provided with Z cube, then you have to take cube root on both sides. These are some of these simple operations that you have to follow. After getting Z is equals to under root 729, what are we going to do? We will use prime factorization to figure out that what would be the square root of 729. For this, we have already learned in chapter number 1 that we can use prime factorization since it's a multiple of 3. So it will start from 3. 3 2s are 6, 3 4s are 12, 3 3s are 9, 3 8s are 24, 3 1s are 3, 3 into 27, 3 9s are, 3 3s are, and 3 1s are. And since we have to find out the square root, so we'll make pairs. After making pairs, we will get 3 pairs. So it becomes 3 multiplied by 3 raised to power cube. Why I'm writing it down like this, 3 square into cube? Because, or I can write it like this. Instead of writing like this, Z is equals to under root 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. Since I have 3 pairs, I'm going to write it down in bracket and put a square over here. So what will happen? This square will cut the under root and I'm left with 3 3s are 9, 3s are 27. And in this case, it could be both positive and negative because when we take out the square root of something, the values are both positive and negative because square of something could be both of a positive and a negative number. Now let's move to the next part, which says if Q is directly proportional to P minus 1 square. So again, we have to make the same equation like Q is directly proportional to p minus 1 to the whole square. So then the next would be q is equals to k p minus 1 square. You see, we replace direct proportion sign with is equals to k, and then we have to find the value of k using these two values that are adjacent to it, that is q is equals to 20, p is equals to 3. In this case, it would become q upon p minus 1 to the whole square is equals to k. Okay, so this is the equation that we are going to substitute the value of k in, and then first we have to find the value of k. So it would be q is equals to 20 upon p is equals to 3 minus 1 to the whole square is equals to k. Then 20 upon 3 minus 1 is equals to 2. So it becomes 2 square is equals to k. Then 20 upon 4. 2 2s are 4. So 4 1s are 4. 4 5s are 20. So the value of k is equals to 5. Now what's next? You just have to substitute the value of k in the equation number 1, which is q is equals to 5 p minus 1 to the whole square. This is the equation that we have to drive at first using the values of the given variables in the first statement and making the equation. So now we have to find out the value of p when q is equals to 80. So the value of q is given here. So we are going to substitute the value of q with 80 is equals to 5. And we have to find the value of p in this case. So now it seems a bit tricky, but it's not. What are we going to do? We have to figure out that what is the relation between 5 and p minus 1 to the whole square? They are multiplying with each other. So what are we going to do? At first, we are going to remove 5 from here. Since it's multiplying with p minus 1 to the whole square, so it'll get divided on the left-hand side, and it becomes p minus 1 to the whole square. Okay? Now, 5 ones are 5, 5 16s are 80. So it becomes p minus 1 to the whole square is equals to 16. And I told you earlier as well that whenever you come up with a variable having a square, then how can you remove the square? Taking the square root on both sides. That's the key to solve these type of questions. Whenever you come up with a square in the subject, that is the variable that you have to find, you just have to take a square root on both sides. This will remove the square root from the left-hand side. But in this case, you have to take the square root on both sides, not just one. So when we will take the square root on both hand sides, it becomes p minus 1 to the whole square is equals to under root 16. This square will cut the square root. And what are we left with? p minus 1 to the left-hand side and under root of 16. 16 is the perfect square of 4. So it is equals to 4 square. We are going to remove a square with the square root and we are left with 4. But we have to find out the value of p. Again, we have a minus 1 over here. So we'll shift it to the other side. It becomes p is equals to 4 plus 1 is equals to 5. So the value of p would be 5 if q is equals to 80. This is how we have to solve this type of question. Now, after understanding that how do we have to take a square root, we have to learn one more thing. Whenever we take a square root of something, the answer that comes would be both positive and negative. So in this case, when we will take a square root on both hand sides, the square root of 16 would be both plus minus 4. What does it mean? It means that it's both p minus 1 is equals to 4 and p minus 1 is equals to minus 4. Okay? So in this case, when we will solve both the equations, we'll get two different answers. That is p is equals to 4 plus 1, which is 5 that we have already got. And in this case, it would be p is equals to minus 4 plus 1, which is p is equals to minus 3. This is another value that we are going to get in this situation. Why? Because the variable was in a square. So this is what we have to account for when we are dealing with square of something. Now the next question says, given that y is directly proportional to x cube, So what would be the equation? It would be y is directly proportional to x cube, where y is equals to k cube, kx cube. But we are not provided with the values of y and x. Hold on. We are provided with the values of y and x in this situation. They are saying copy and complete the table. In this situation, we have to figure out that where the values of x and corresponding y both are given. In this case, we can see that x is equals to 6 and y is equals to 648. This value we are going to take to find out the value of k. And after finding the value of k, we have to substitute the value of k in this equation. So it would be y upon x cube is equals to k. Then we will substitute the values of y, which is 648, and the corresponding value of x is 6. So we are going to put 6 over here along with a cube is equals to k. Then 648. What is the cube of 6? 6 6 are 36. 36 6 are 216. So it would be 648 upon 216 is equals to k. Now what we have to do, we have to divide 648 with 216. And when we will divide it, we will get the answer as 3. So it means k is equals to 3. Now we have to go back towards the equation where we had y is equals to kx cube. So it becomes y is equals to 3x cube. So these are the steps. If you follow the steps, you won't make mistakes. Like what are we doing? First, we are making the statement. This is the first step. Then we are replacing the sign of direct proportion with is equals to k. Then we are finding the value of the constant. And then we are putting the value of that constant in the equation back. After completing these steps, then we have to move forward towards finding the values of k, where the value finding the values of x, where the values of y are given, and finding the values of y, where the values of x are given. So in this situation, if you notice, in some of the cases, we are provided with the value of x, that is in the first two, where x is equals to 3, and we have to find out the value of y. Similarly, if x is equals to 4, we have to find out the value of y. But in the later two cases, the value of y is given, and we have to find out the value of x. So let us use this equation, this particular equation, which is y is equals to 3x cubed. Now, we have to use this equation twice. We will substitute the value of x. Like in this one, we are provided with the value of x as 3. So we are going to substitute the value of x 3. And it becomes 3, 3, 3. There are 3 3s. But you have to keep in mind that whenever we are provided with number such that it is getting multiplied outside, but it has a power. So we have to use the BODMAS rule, which says that first solve the power and then go for multiplication. Okay, so 3 3s are 9, 9 3s are 27. Then we will multiply 27 with 3. So the answer would be 81. Y would be 81 if x is equals to 3. Because y is directly proportional to x cube. And the constant is 3. Similarly, we have to find out the value of y when x is equals to 4. So we will use the same equation as y is equals to 3x cube. Now we will substitute the value of x as 4 raised to power 3. 4 4s are 16. 16 4s are 64. Now we will multiply 64 with 3. So the answer would be 192. You see, what are we doing? We are just substituting the values of x because we are provided with the values of x and finding the values of corresponding y. So it would be 192. Next, we have to find out the value of x when the value of y is given as 375. So this time, again, we are going to use the same equation. Y is equals to 3x cube. But here we have to substitute the value of y and not x anymore, which is 375 is equals to 3x cubed. What to do next? Now I will remove this 3 from here and it becomes 375 upon 3 is equals to x cubed. When I'm going to divide 375 with 3, the answer would be 125 is equals to x cube. You should learn some of the perfect squares and perfect cube for this question so that you won't get any confusions. Now, since we have a cube over here, so we will take cube root on both sides. So it becomes cube root of x cube is equals to cube root of 125. And you know, 125 is a perfect cube of 5. 5 fives are 25. 25 fives are 125. So this cube root will cut a cube and it becomes x is equals to under cube root of 125 is 5. The answer would be 5. Okay. So the value of x would be 5 if the value of y is 375. And we can say that the values of x are way smaller than the values of y because y is directly proportional to x cube where x is already, where the constant is already 3. Now in the next one, we are provided with the value of y as 1029. Y is equals to 1029 is equals to 3x cube. Then what are we going to do? We will remove this 3. It becomes 1029 upon 3 is equals to x cube. We have to separate x because we have to find out the value of x. So 1029 divided by 3 equals to 343 is equals to x cube. And you should know that the perfect cube of 7 is 343. So we can say that taking cube root on both sides, we will get 7 cube is equals to x cube. Hence, taking cube root on both sides, these will cut the cubes and we are left with x is equals to 7. It means x would be 7 if y is equals to 1029. And that's it. This is how we have to solve these types of tables. What we did, first we took the corresponding values of x and y to figure out the value of k. After finding the value of k, we substituted the value of k in this equation, which was y is equals to kx cube, and we substituted the value of k, which made it y is equals to 3x cube. And after substituting the value of k, what we did, we found the values of y when the values of x were provided. And then using the same equation, we found the values of x when the values of y were provided. So for now, we have completed till question number 7. Inshallah, in the next video, we are going to do a few more questions of the same exercise. Until then, take care. Do subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to share it with your friends. Hit the like button. Allah Hafiz.